A very good evening to all of you. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the first day of the World University Summit and the G20 Higher Education Forum, in which we are now entering into the sixth thematic session, which is entitled A New Imagination for Private Universities in India, a dialogue with the founders on philanthropy and excellence in institution building. We are indeed very fortunate that we have the founders of some of the leading private universities in India, all of whom have consented to be part of what promises to be an exciting panel. Let me begin by introducing this panel and then briefly the introduction of the speakers itself. Some of the big debates that we are going to discuss in this panel is about the very idea of a private university, how it has grown, evolved, reimagined, and its contemporary evolution has impacted the world of higher education in India and beyond. Let me also say that a less known data point is in relation to the fact that today India has over 70% of its higher education institutions which are in the private sector. Over 70% of students in India are studying in private higher education institutions. So private higher education institutions and private universities have come a long way since the early evolution of Indian higher education at the dawn of Indian independence, when we began with over 20 universities, and today we have over 1,000 universities. So with those introductory remarks, let me quickly introduce the outstanding panel we have before us. I'm not going to read their full bio, as all of you are familiar with them, and their reputation precedes them. We have with us Ms. Kritika Padode Bandari, the member of the founding team of Vijayabhumi University, Mr. Vineet Gupta, the founder, trustee, and pro-vice chancellor of Ashoka University, pro-chancellor of Ashoka University, and also founder of the Plaksha University, Dr. Ashok Kumar Pansari, the founding chancellor of Royal Global University, which is located in Guwahati, Assam. He's also the founder of the Royal Group of Institutions, which also has a school. We have with us Dr. Indu Shahani, the founding president and chancellor of Atlas Skill Tech University in Mumbai, another interesting and unique institution, and Dr. Vaidya Subramaniam, the vice chancellor of Sastra Deemed University, an outstanding scholar, researcher in a number of areas, including in the field of education. All right, so let's quickly jump into the panel, because I know that we are conscious of time and there are a number of questions that are also already coming through from the audience. Let me move to Dr. Pansari. Dr. Pansari, I had the privilege to visit your university recently. I've heard of it. Another extraordinary journey, a very short span of time. You've established a university, but quite remarkably, this is not something you always did. So tell us about your journey. What was the motivation to build Royal Global University? And what do you think how do you feel now having built? What are your plans and what is the future of the Royal Global University?
Good evening, Professor Raj. It's a privilege and opportunity to be co-panelist with such great educationists of the country. My journey is in fact very interesting, and the reason is very simple. In the year 2008, I took my son for admission in Bangalore, in one of the finest institutions there. And then I observed there that huge number of students from northeastern regions, especially from Assam, were there queuing for admission in different colleges. I was wondering why so many students from our region are coming to a particular place. Coming back from there, I made further research and I found that huge number of exodus is taking place from northeastern region, especially from Assam to the other parts of the country. I found the reason being there were no center of excellence for higher education in our region, bearing few colleges here. There were not a single private university even. So I thought, why not to give back to the society? Of course, education was my passion. I had already set up Delhi Public School in Guwahati in the year 2003, but I never thought of the higher education. But that was the time when I thought that this will be the best way to give back to the society if I can make some contribution to make a seizure in this process of exodus of students from our region. Because what was happening there, the students going to study in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, wherever, they will study there, they will settle there. That impacts the economic growth of our region. that being in mind, and I had nothing at that time, I had just a plot of land. I thought, why not set up a center of excellence? I started and made a building in just 7 months' time, 2 lakh square feet building, and started just like a college, Royal Group of Institution under Guwahati University. We had a good beginning with 400 plus students with engineering, MBA, BBA, these kind of courses. I never thought that it's going to be in today's shape. So the reason was a very simple, humble, and pious, that to stop the exodus of the student from our region. Of course, my passion was very, very much there in education. And that time I never thought, I just thought that institution means teaching, learning process to produce employable human being and to produce some entrepreneur who can be the part of the growth engine of this region. But gradually I found interest, and gradually with the help of the well-wishers, and I took huge amount of bank loan and whatever investment I have possible, I went on. And today I have a campus. And in the year, of course, 2009, I started that Royal Group of Institution. And in 2012, I started a K-12 school in the name of Royal Global School. The kind of response which we got, immense demand of the school and the college. In fact, that helped me to come up with further ideas. And in the year 2017, I got the approval for the Royal Global University in Assam, which was one of the first 235 universities in this region. And then we came to know that it's not the teaching learning process that's going to make this institution one of the greatest in the region, and one of the finest in the country. And then we started giving thrust on research and not many things. So when I talk about when you ask about the region, this is a simple story and the simple reason for which I thought of opening this institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pansari. It is not only a simple but a extremely inspiring journey, because not all individuals who get an idea of the kind end up executing it in the way you did, but also the reason for which you did, which is to provide access to a lot of young people from a very important and to a large extent neglected part of the country. So congratulations to you. Let me move to Dr. Pansari. I know we are only short.
Raj, I will like to give my take on all the last three questions which you asked before the other panelists.
You do that. Just 1 minute, 1 minute, Dr. Pansari. I just want to mention that we have another 8 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to give you adequate time. I have one question, and then you can also respond to other questions. My one question to you, Dr. Pansari, is that one of the challenges of individuals, private individuals, establishing universities is that their expectation on the return on investment is measured through monetary terms exclusively, and also in a limited time sense. I'm not saying it's the case everywhere, but that's one of the challenges. When the state funds an institution, it has a larger public purpose for it, although it's taxpayers' money, and it doesn't have a time limit in which it expects any form of return. My question to you is that, as a philanthropist, as a founder of a relatively new university in India, how do you ensure that this is what you have done is going to be sustainable in the long run with the kind of ethos and values on the basis of which you have created it? Over to you, Dr. Pansari.
Dr. Raj, I would like to answer this question first before I make my comment on the earlier ones. And this is very interesting. In fact, what I believe is that any founder who set up such institution, college or private university, if they come up with the idea of short-term vision and they look for return on investment and they make a business model type of institution, I'm very sure that they will fail miserably, both on account of the business and in form of reputation. And the ones who will have a long-term vision, and those who understand that universities are not built in years, rather they are built in decades, and they are made for many, many decades. With that vision, and I'm telling you, I am one amongst them. In the last 13 years, I've already spent, I don't mind putting the figure of 500 crore in infrastructure. But I know that unless we spend more, this is something like a flight. You know, if you board a bus or a car or a taxi, you can deboard anywhere. But once you are in a flight, you must reach to the destination. And that's the way any educator, any educationist should think of setting up of private universities, they will have to go on putting a lot of money, being a philanthropist from own sources, bank loan, whatever other sources are there, unless they make a good reputation. But I'm sure once you set up well-established infrastructure, world-class logistic facilities, research, quality education, good placement, then you are going to see the light of the day. Then when you are going to be in huge demand, you can have your fees of your choice with, of course, FRC restrictions. And the day will come when you will be having a lot of surplus, you will have reputation, and you will have good business model as well, though it continues to remain as a non-profit organization. On your issue about the non-profits, so your question, I am very confident, though I am not at surplus now, incurring huge losses and going to invest many more money on infrastructure. And as I told you the other day, that I'm going to take your consultancy and help in as to how to take this institution at a different level by spending more money on research and all this. I would also like to comment on Ritika's. I would have wished that it is not a NGO, it is not a non-profit organization. But as you said that you agree to the fact that it remains NGO, it remains not for profit. There is one silver lining on this feeling of yours. The day educational institutions are made open to individuals, firms, and companies, probably so far only those gentlemen and with philanthropic approach are coming to this kind of sector. Many more non-gentlemen may come into this business, and the competition will be so tough, and so nuisance values will come up that good people like we all sitting here may need to have many bigger challenges. So in a way, non-profit, not-for-profit organization is a good idea. However, there is a rider to that. As we talked about the tax structure, you know, every budget for the last 5-7 years, you notice that there are some or other restrictions, and they are so, I mean to say, stringent, that they are putting it for some A or B institution might have done something wrong. So for that they put so many such restrictions that become very stringent. There is the place where government must revisit those provisions and see that when the organizations are not for profit, the founders are giving on bank guarantee all their assets lifetime saving, and the assets are not for their next generation. This remains with the foundation, with the trust in the society. Why the government consider them not the philanthropists, rather as if they are looting the society? That philosophy of the government needs to be changed. So that's my take on your question about tax structure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pansari, for those very valuable comments. We're going to have just one last 1 minute response for each one of you. The question is that, what does it take you to do what you're doing now? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is it that motivates you to do what you're doing? Because something that Vineet said early on, institution building can be a very selfless, tireless, thankless type of work. And many a time people ask that question, and they have asked me, but I'm sure they've asked all of you. So I want you to, as founders, I want each one of you to, respond to that so that you can inspire others as well. Over to you, Dr. Pansari.
Dr. Raj, I think at this stage of our life, now I'm going to be 60, I don't think anything else can be better than education. Doing business, adding more money to your existing balances may not give satisfaction after having done so much in your life. And since my own career had been a fantastic journey of education, always throughout topper in the universities and all, I think I am fulfilling my passion, and this sector is giving me a lot of satisfaction. As Kritika rightly said, that we feel that we are with the young minds and we are with the people who are having the like-mindedness, and we get the opportunity to read and to write and to talk to the people. As such, these are the driving forces which gets me going. Thank you.
Wonderful, Dr. Pansari. And Vinit, you have the last word on this, Vinit.
Well, I already shared this a bit, but, Raj, personally, and this is just for selfish reasons, I can't imagine another life. I truly feel, I don't know how I got into it, but having got into it, I can't imagine another life. I just feel, I don't feel my work day is like a work day. I feel while I'm either at Ashoka or Plaksha or trying to do work for them, these 18-hour work days or 16-hour or whatever don't seem like work. It just feels a lot of pleasure and joy. So I think just for that reason, and here I am, I must say, with the Indian philosophy of Gita, to just keep doing what you like to do and just don't worry about what else will happen. So I really feel this is a good life, Raj, for just pure reasons, for personal reasons.
Wonderful, Vinit. Well, let me take this opportunity to thank Kritika Padode, Vineet Gupta, Ashok Pansari, Dr. Indu Shahani, and Dr. Vaidya Subramaniam. I want to dedicate an absolutely inspiring quote to all five of you as founders. These were the words of Paulo Coelho when he said, and I quote, "Remember your dreams and fight for them. You must know what you want from life. There is just one thing that makes your dream become impossible: the fear of failure. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it," unquote. This particular quote of Paulo Coelho epitomizes each one of your life. You are truly extraordinarily inspiring founders who have contributed to institution building. Your contribution to the wider impact of Indian society and also global society is immeasurable. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for accepting our invitation and to be part of this panel discussion. This session is ended. We will have a short break, and I invite all others who are watching in Facebook and YouTube to join us on the next session, which is entitled Paving the Way Forward, Strategic Collaboration Among the Universities in the Post-Pandemic Era. We will have the president of Seattle University from United States, Professor Eduardo Penalver. We'll have Professor Mark Schmidt, the Vice Chancellor and President of the University of Southampton, Professor Bettina Kuzumarov, who is the Associate Vice President International of Carleton University in Canada, Professor Ian Rowlands, Associate Vice President International of the University of Waterloo in Canada, and will be moderated by my own colleague, Professor Kishalay Bhattacharjee, who is the Dean of the Jindal School of Journalism and Communication. Thank you very much to all of you, and deeply appreciate your presence. Thank you.